Hi, my name is Bawe Ivy from Cameroon. You're listening to the
Stretch Street Podcast.
Stretch Street with the energetic EJ.
With the energetic EJ.
With the energetic EJ.
Don't stop listening.
Oh, okay. My name is King Wealth, and I'm from the southwest part of Nigeria. Basically, all your states for many people, but it's in Nigeria, West Africa, and Africa continent. Well, I think I love to introduce myself as a logistic man, a public speaker, so I'm a trainer. Now I think of myself as majorly a logistic person, planning of events, a travel consultant for over 15 years, and I've been planning events, into protocols, just anything that has to do with events and logistics, basically. Fun thing, I think from my background, I am little less of fun. I'm mostly work thing, but I think I love doing movies in order to unwind at times when there is time and time permits. But my most fun is getting in the event planning. All right, yeah, that's a very tricky question. And I actually am a Christian, and there's this principle that guides me over the years. And that's taken from Proverbs 22:29 that says, "Yet a man diligent in his business, he will stand before kings and not mere men." And so remember that it always pops out in my head, always and always. It guides me. It helps me to be focused on doing something which is hard work based at every time.
Stretch Street Podcast. No matter how dark the night is, the sun always rises. No matter how hard life gets, keep moving forward. You never know what amazing things are waiting just around the corner. No story is too rough and no journey is too tough. Join us on Stretch Street to be inspired by the stories of people who have been through it all and come out stronger. Stretch Street Podcast. Stretching without snapping.
Hello guys, and welcome to Stretch Street Podcast. So for the rest of 2022, it is still going to be a little bit weird for me to say because I am used to saying the former name of my podcast, but I'm excited to let you know that this is now Stretch Street Podcast. And why Stretch Street Podcast? You already heard it in the intro, but I'm going to reiterate it again so that you are on this journey with me, which is I am documenting the stories of people to share their stretch story. There is something that has gone on in their life. There's an experience that they've had that stretched them onto the point of snapping, but it probably didn't snap. And some actually did, but there is a way or something that happened that helps them find their way back on track. And so we want to explore these stories from different people from every part of the world sharing their stretch story. So if you're watching this or listening to this and you have a stretch story that you'd like to share with us, then just contact me on Instagram, for example, at @theenergetic_, and we can talk about having you on the show. Today on the show, you already saw my guest. He already introduced himself, and so we're diving into what a stretch story is. Now, you're already asking, why is he putting on this dark goggles? Is it inspired by the bunch? But that is one of the points that we're going to segue into his stretch story. Right, because King Wealth here, like he mentioned in his introduction, said he's a logistics expert, right? He's been in this business for quite a while, and I kid you not, he's excellent at what he does. If you follow me on online, you would know that recently we concluded an event, more like a tour, right?
Yeah.
called the 40 Streams Conference. We had a couple of those in Nigeria, and then we had the grand finale in Ghana. This dude right here was one of the anchor to that event, ensuring all our logistics from everyone traveling from countries, from Dubai to Nigeria, from Cameroon to Nigeria to Ghana, and all of those things. So he is super passionate about this, right? And in the middle of all of this event, something happened to him, which is why he's putting on this dark shade you're seeing right now. So I want him to tell us the story, because this is how a stretch story, the one he wants to share with us today, is going to emanate from. So, King Wealth, tell me, why are you putting on this dark shade? I know, but tell us. And how has this experience stretched you this season, and how are you able to navigate through that?
Thank you, the energetic, everyone energetic, for having me on this show. I know that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I am someone that doesn't really care about my health. In quote, I can't stand somewhere for long. I love to jump from one place to the other, doing logistics, events. It's like if I don't have an event or plan in a month, it looks like I'm sick. So I've got to like move from different place to place in order to organize different events. I have a couple of them that I've done in the past. I have some that are already lined up towards the end of the year. And so that actually took my attention away from what was happening to me, which was my health. First diagnosed was glaucoma. I started having issues 2018, but it was diagnosed glaucoma 2021, September. And I actually had to fly down from Abuja to my hometown, Bado, to see one of the most experts in the high surgery stuff. And he told me, he said, Israel, we need to do this as fast as possible. So I said, okay, I'm coming. I'm coming from September Cameroon event. I needed to focus. I had my third master's exam loading up. So I actually had to fix all those ones out of the way, because I knew there would be a period, which I didn't know was going to be up to 6 weeks, but I knew there was going to be a period that I might not be able to do other things. So I decided to fix things up. And fast forward, we had the Ibadan seminar. I was good. What's it called? Uyo. We had the Uyo workshop. I was wonderful. I was going for Porakot when I had issues with the eyes. It was painful. It was getting me. I noticed it was getting dimmer. So I told the boss of sales, Sam. I said, Mr. Sam, he said, hey, Israel,
go and take care of yourself.
Any pharmacy you can get to. That was Porakot event in the morning. I told him, I said, when I'm through with Porakot, I will go to Ibadan and check myself out. So by the time I landed on Sunday, after Porakot on Saturday, that was last weekend, basically. 2 weekends ago. So I landed, and he told me, he said, Israel, I know you want to plan Lagos. I know Lagos is on your neck also. You want to fill up the hall, because that's what I'm passionate about it. And also passionate about the fact that the platform itself is emancipating a lot of persons, and I want many people to know about it. So I told him, I said, okay, let me just get to hospital. It was something like probably they will give me eye drop, and I will get to Lagos and quickly do what I need to do. And the moment I got to
the hospital,
the professor checked my eyes, checked it. He called 2 nurses. They were running up and down. And the next thing, I just said, prepare the ward.
Wow.
I said, what? I said, I don't understand. I just want to, if I want to get back to Lagos, I have an event. The professor was like, just come. We are coming. We are coming. And they went, move up and down. Long story cut short. I didn't know. My mom was called. I just saw my boss bring rolled in with my kids, everything. They said they should go and make some deposits, and I was weak. Where am I going? They said, when we get there, you
will know. Wow.
When we got to the work, he actually told the nurses to seize my phones. So I was incommunicado for 48 hours.
I remember that, because I was like, what's going on? Mr. Wells not online. That's impossible.
So that was like life ended. You know, when a particular brand of telecommunications said life is data, you will know what I mean. Like, life ended for me. And I was like, are you guys serious? And they said, no, your eyes first. So I got back to Mr. Sam. I said, this is what is happening. He said, just be there. Just be there, King. Just be there. Just do what you need to do. And before you know it, they had to prepare the theater for Tuesday. I was wheeled in. Long story short, they said it was the two eyes they've got to do. I was like, do I need to sign something? Do I have a say in this? They said, sorry, we've got to do it. So they did it after 48 hours, after 2 hours of back and forth with the eyes. I was wheeled out and it was done. By the time I was done with it and I was wheeled back to the work, they closed my eyes for 24 hours.
Wow. But you were awake?
I was awake. No, they had to block the eyes. I wasn't seeing anything at all. And for 24 hours, it was something that was off. You understand? I was not online. And it was a period of stretch for me because I'm someone that jumps from here, organizing things. And all of a sudden, they said 6 weeks, I've got to remain somewhere. Apparently, they remanded me inside the ward for 5 days, and I couldn't make the Lagos event.
Yeah, so for those days, you were not doing anything?
Nothing.
Okay.
No, I was just, in fact, I was spoon-fed, they gave me water. They didn't want me to do anything carrying anything, videos, nothing. Chatting, nothing.
So let's hold on there.
All right.
And we'll talk about how you were able to survive those periods that you could not do anything. We'll be right back.
All right.
Hello and welcome to another episode on the Stretch Street Podcast. All right, so before we went on that quick break, I was, King Wealth here was telling us about how the hospital had to bandage him, like tie him down. You can't move. And this is somebody who loves to move about, and I can totally resonate with that. Like, even the sheer thought of thinking like, hey, I'll be confined in one place for 5 days, not talk more 6 weeks. Oh my God, what's going to happen to me? I feel like my body will just atrophy, like everything will not work again. So going to that, I know this was a stretch moment for you, like, oh my God, how am I going to do it? And this is especially because you had a major event to plan.
Exactly.
So how were you able to navigate that? And what are some of the lessons you drew out of that short experience? Because even though he had to stretch, he still found himself doing the work against doctor's instruction. To tell us about that.
All right. So I think there's a difference between you're trying to do something and you're born to do something. Because by the time the water level up, the people that will survive are the only ones that were born to do it. All that will chicken out. So I often tell people that I've actually protocoled and do the events for 24 hours. I never sat down for 1 minute. I was on my feet. It was after the old event that my feet was painful, and we had to put a lot of cold blocks and stuff like that. But I felt relieved. I felt fulfilled having to do that. So when the whole experience of I needed to be in the hospital, I knew it was my health which was important. Eyes is the most precious thing, irrecoverable, irreversible actions on the body. And so I actually had to give some kind of respect. So what I did was, I had people in the team. I had 1 or 2 guys. I actually had to send another person to join with the team from Ibadan to Lagos, just to be able to have the mega show, which was wonderful and successful.
Absolutely.
So it taught me something, that if you know you can do something, why don't you surround yourself with people that you can train to do the same? So in case of the day you'll become immobile, the vision continues.
I love it.
So that's the number 1 lesson I got. Number 2 is the fact that no matter the vision, no matter how crazy it is, no matter how beautiful it is, your body needs to be able to carry the vision. If the body cannot carry the vision, then the vision dies with the body.
Hey, word. If your body cannot carry the vision dies with your body. And what does this tell you? Pay attention to your body, because this is the vessel
Yes, sir.
that would birth that vision, and if you don't take care of it, then that vision might die eventually.
Exactly. You look at I've read God's General 1 to 5. Jack Cole, the likes of Jack Cole, Allen, all those ones. You will notice that they die at 42. They died at 50, and the reason was because they were all out. They overworked the vessel. So even the virtue is there, but the vessel could not carry the virtue with value to be delivered to the people. So when, no matter how virtuous you are, how desperate, how committed you are, the body needs to be respected, because that is that's
your vessel.
That's
really,
your vessel.
that's the only way you can operate on this part of eternity.
Exactly.
And so if that body is not taken care of, then you actually definitely forfeit the whole vision.
Exactly. So the virtue in the vessel needs to be all right, appropriately packaged to be able to deliver the value and the content to the people. So if that is out of the equation, you will struggle and you might eventually lose everything
that you actually your heart desires. So I'm going to ask you this final question and we'll round this up. Is now going forward, what have you decided, or what would you put in place to take care of this body, and especially these eyes that we can't even have the pleasure of looking at right now, because it has to be constantly covered until it fully recovers?
Exactly. So what I did was thank you for that question. What I did was, number one, I ensured that all my medications, both drugs and eye drops, I'm on an hourly timeout. So I ensured I keep to it. I ensured that even as I am in Ghana, in order to facilitate the success of the conference yesterday, what I did was to ensure that I didn't overwork myself. I had the team also had to come in from Nigeria to report, support. So I gave them what they need to do. So all I did was just to give advice, just to give counsel and directives, and they were doing it. So while I stayed at the back and just ensure everything was going well, and meanwhile I was instilling my eye drops in between so that I was okay.
So I hope that going forward you are going to give yourself some rest, please.
Yes, people actually said I should give myself some rest.
Please, because we know your vision is big. You're great at what you do, but we need your body to be in shape for you to be able to execute on those visions.
Another thing I have made sure is twice a year I go for full body check.
Fantastic. I think a lot of us run away from that. I don't know why. Maybe we are scared that they will find something. And we just don't want to know what they will find, so we'll just stay away.
I think on that note, people they are very scared.
Yes.
Of the fact that most people die before the sickness actually killed them.
Out of fear.
The mental strength of a lot of people is
very low.
So when they give them that news, and doctors are not friendly when they want to give
they give you as it is.
They will tell you as it is. And with that one, what happened? Your mental strength just drops.
Boom. And
energy just drops, and your life almost ends. So that is the place of where you need to now bring out the courage inside of you and tell yourself, just like I had to do to myself, and say, and for next day, this particular operation just starts the new phase of my life. Seriously.
And we're going to hear about all of that soon. Hopefully we're going to get him back on the show. But thank you so much for being here on Stretch Streets. Thank you, King Wealth, for sharing your stretch story. And I hope that you've learned one or two things from his story. And I hope that you, if you're currently going through your own stretch season, that you would not overwhelm yourself with worry and concern, but actually position yourself to say, what is this situation here to teach me, so that you can take the life lessons out of those situations. But yes, this is what Stretch Street is all about, to document the stories of people who have gone through several experiences that have stretched them, but they didn't snap. And I hope that as you go along this week, you're going to look out for those little stretches here and there and find the courage not to snap. Again, this is the energetic EJ, and I'm going to see you next time on another episode on Stretch Street Podcast.